Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a video on all my camps. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, just in case one of my camps disappeared. I've definitely been evicted 2-3 times from areas, and I was a little concerned with wastlanders I would lose a camp, but so far I haven't. But anyway, I've been wanting to do this for a while regardless. So I have some favorite camps and some spots that people might like. Some legacy camps, legacy bunkers like this one that I'm sitting in at the moment. So until I get evicted or moved, or I'm not allowed to keep this bunker anymore, I'll continue to keep it. It's kind of a fun camp. It's legacy. You can't build them anymore. It has been patched, but it's kind of interesting to show. I'll go through some of my favorite camps at the beginning of the video, and I'll end the video with some of my least favorite camps, or camps that I haven't yet finished or are still in the process. I don't get into too much fancy building and doing sort of stuff like circular buildings, things like that. Mine are pretty easy to complete and build. I have different styles. I have a certain style that I certainly follow myself that I like to build at, but most of my camps are unique and different in different ways, and I'll speak about the areas, why I like them, what I did, and a lot of these are camps that I don't necessarily play with anymore, but they're kind of fun to come back and look at, and you know, sometimes I'll change up characters. I do have 4 characters that I play with consistently. My primary ones, or the first ones of each one of those accounts, are regular use camps, and then the rest of them aren't. So anyway, so I'm going to start with the camp that I have in the mock. I'll tell you, a lot of my camps are strategically placed for fast traveling locations. As most of you know, I have 2 Xboxes. I play with 2 characters. I'm rarely on with only 1 character, and the reason for that is I can fast travel to different camps, and certainly the bugs that would drive me completely insane if I didn't play like this, such as the incumbent bug, which puts you back at Vault 76, would probably make me actually stop playing the game completely. If I didn't have 2 characters and I couldn't move that character to the last location where I was and spawn back there. So you know, if you're at your camps, you can always go to Vault 76 and back, but if you're somewhere else, it's just a pain. It's just, you know, it'll drive me insane, right? But anyway, as you know, I play with 2 characters. I have 4 characters now, 4 separate accounts, and each one of those, the reason I probably have those in the most part is fast traveling, and also I like building or messing around with camps in different locations are my primary reasons, right? So anyway, I'm going to start with one of my camps. It's right here in the bog. The reason I chose this spot, it's right on a junk spot, but the main reason I wanted to have a fast travel spot in the bog and right next to Prime, so when someone launches a nuke, you know, I could just fast travel to this location and I could be quite quickly. So I don't have to sort of go anywhere. So I did pick it right. Unfortunately, the problem with this spot is it does get nuked if you're not paying attention. My camp is most of the time in ruins, and you know, I do have an outside area which I repair quite often. But the rest of the camp, or the inside of the camp, which is tricky to get into unless I opened up a door. I used to, you know, when we used to have the fireplace glitch, then I could just move a cement block and get in, and it was much more usable. And but I don't want to destroy that or remove that quite yet. So anyway, so the door used to be right over here, or it is still here, except there is a cement block, and I used to be able to move that out of the way and get in and out, and I still can do that, but I won't be able to put it back. So anyway, so this is my bunker. As you can see, I have everything inside enclosed. I'll show you what it looks like on the outside. It has some steps and tiered roof, as you can see. It sort of kind of tiers up to the top there. So you can actually get on top of it if the queen is flying around. Then you can actually get on top and stuff. So I have a little kitchen area with all my crafting stations. So this is my typical build. I like building a little kitchen area. I still have some camps with some legacy stuff where we could put sort of you know, the water, these sort of water faucets, whatever you want to call them, water pumps on the fireplace to keep it inside. Unfortunately, they got rid of that, but they do have some other basins now, so that's probably a little redundant. But it's kind of fun to kind of, I tell people that fireplace heats up my water, and that's how I get hot water, right? So, okay, so I have that, and then a green space. I have some fertilizer with some potato growing in it. I don't know if you can still do that. You might be able to. Certainly that was available. The power armor bench, and then a little grow up area, crop area. Yeah, so I got potatoes and corn and meat fruit and razor grain right there. I have a little bedroom area, yeah, which, let's see if we can get in. Yeah, sometimes I can't get through that door, or at least get out that door because of the way I built it. So a little bedroom area. So again, I like to build a bedroom, a kitchen, and I don't really care about the bathrooms too much. I don't do that typically in my builds. And then, you know, like I said, crafting stations there, and then I have a little music area at the top. So I kind of like this design. I do have another bunker with a slightly different design. This is probably my favorite one out of the two, but I do actually like them both. I don't really have a favorite camp. They're all my kind of favorites, right? So two entrances into the bedroom, and that's pretty much it. So main reason I like this area, it's right by Sundew Grove, right over there, which a sheep's got sometimes spawns, and of course when you have to do the nuke challenges, the collect flora challenges, you know, it's actually quite a good location because I could just fast travel here, and most of the time they will nuke the area, and you pretty much can get everything, yeah, except I think cobalt. Everything else will actually spawn in Sundew Grove in the most part. Pretty quick location, and you can actually fast travel to the station station, do monster mash, things like that. So actually quite a nice location. A lot of people sort of build right over here, and I was kind of thinking about that at some point, but it's such a popular spot. So as you guys who actually do build here do know that it's hard to probably actually land your camp because so many people actually like that spot. So I don't find too many problems with this location. Okay, so let's move on to our second location on this character. I have another location that is actually right over here. Just over here, there is a fertilizer zone, which I will show you. This is actually probably my favorite camp right at the moment. So let's Okay, so this is my latest camp. It's actually my first character that I started off with. I have several different locations, but this is probably my favorite build at the moment. And you're gonna see why in a sec, I guess. So it's actually kind of a neat build. I've got a little farm area surrounded by fencing, which is kind of cool. A sort of open area, and it is on a deposit. So I like building my camps on either a water source or a deposit. It's just kind of fun seeing the harvester going off and collecting stuff, and of course you can always bulk and sell that. So it's always kind of useful. And then a sort of a little farm area. So it is close to the power plant, it's close to Watoga. I wanted to have a spot in the bog where it doesn't get nuked. So my other camp, that, like I said, it always gets nuked. I was getting tired of that. And so I decided, you know, I had enough, and it seemed to be like a waste of a camp. I could never use it. I could never get resources from it. It seemed like a waste. So I chose this spot kind of away. It's close to X3, which is kind of nice. And of course, it's close to the power plant. So if you're looking for red ants or wants to make the red ant alcohol, it's right over here. And of course, if you need to do the challenge, but it's always close enough to Watoga. As you can see, the harvester going off here. So I really like what I did here with this camp. Just sort of like an outdoor area. I got my crafting stations. A little farm area, which I wasn't planning to do, but ended up doing, which I really actually liked how this actually turned out. You know, got potatoes, meaty fruits, razor grain, carrots, all in a nice, neat row. It kind of really turned out well. Now, this camp does get attacked by enemies quite a lot. I also have the trees. As you can see, those trees are the trees that you buy from the item shop. It would make a significant difference in terms of the look of the camp without those trees. So for those guys who haven't actually bought the trees, highly recommend it. Makes a massive difference, especially if your camp doesn't have any trees close by. You can light these trees up. They're very pretty at night and stuff like that, right? The other thing I wanted in this area was kind of interesting, is it has a water source here. So I changed. I was actually going to face sort of a different direction, but I turned the camp in a way where I could, it was facing Watoga, and I'll show you the view that I've got of Watoga, which is kind of cool. But I also have a water source here, which is just kind of fun. So I actually have a harvester and a water source in the same camp, which is unusual. There are a few camp spots that you can actually do that. But yeah, I managed to get 2 in. I actually could get 3 in, but the 3 of these large ones, I certainly could get a smaller one if I wanted. Probably, but the larger one I had to turn around. But then because it's just out the zone, half of these 2 water purifiers are sort of out of the actual green zone. Let me see if I can actually power it up here. I'll show you in a sec. You can see as the water purifiers are onto the green zone, if I turned them around, I couldn't actually power them up because the actual power connectors were sitting on the outside and it wouldn't let me actually power them up, right? So, and then, like I said, enemies do spawn here, and I have actually seen legendary enemies spawn there, and there's typically enemies will spawn in this little house just across there, and they will come over and attack your camp, and then I think the bots event spawns close by as well. So definitely like the area, just because of the closeness to Watoga, and some of the resources that are available over here. And if you guys wanted to see a camp in a little bit more detail, I can certainly show that to you. I just sort of heading inside. I have a little, like I said, a kitchen area, sitting area, a little dining room area, which I typically like to do. A little bedroom area there, or bed there, craft power armor station. If we head upstairs, again, sort of, I like how this turned out. I've got 4 different floors in this area. I've got carpet, a wooden floor, the second carpet, and the mosaic tiles, and it really actually looks really neat with that that kind of look, right? So main bedroom area, just a couple of things. So I'm not doing anything too fancy here. I don't really get into like the fancy building because the camps are really limited. Yeah. So very cozy, nice build. And I mentioned earlier. You got this gorgeous view of Watoga on a clear day. It's actually kind of a nice view. And like I said, you're close to the power plant. Okay, so moving on. The next one on this character. Actually, let me jump over to. Let me see, am I on the same server as my other character? I'm probably not. Alright, I was going to jump over to the camp, but that's okay. Let me switch camps. The next camp I'm going to show you is a farm that I built up in the mountains, up near the Mire, or I guess in between, just over here between the Mire and Savage Divide. It's kind of a neat location. Okay, so we're going to be heading over there. My third character on this account. So this is my farm area. I built it specifically for when the above alcohol thing was going on. So I wanted it to look like a farm, not just be a farm, but also kind of look and feel like a farm. So as you can see, let me see if I can get a better view here for you guys. You know, it has the barn sort of look and feel, and then you know, a farm sort of kind of look and feel a little bit, right? So like I said, I'm in the mountains right over here. One of the neat things about this location, I want to see if I had any budget there. One of the things about this location is it's got this little house here in the mountain, which is kind of cool for a number of reasons. We just deal with whatever enemies are here. I do have super mutants and dogs and wolves show up at this location, but let's head on into this little house here quick. There's a whole bunch of resources. I got spices and plastic. You got Nuka-Cola Quantum, mods and stuff, some ammo, some caps. So just this area alone has a bunch of resources, as you can see. Pretty sure I have some super mutants. Let me deal with these guys quickly, wherever they are. I'll teach you, mess with my turrets. Oh, this is one of my low-level characters. The other thing that spawns in this area is I'm actually happy to see both of these spawn. You typically will see one stash cast, but in this case there's actually two. So sometimes two will spawn, which is kind of cool. So you get double scrap stash, you get the resources in that area, which is kind of cool. It already comes with a armored or a weapons workbench, some purified water. There is actually a lake or river just down the bottom of this mountain. There is a water source, and there's also a random spawn close by. And of course, when we have to do the gold per challenge, it is very close by. So again, all my camps are strategically placed to allow me to get to various locations, to the Mire, to the Watoga, to the map at Camden Park. My other camp is down here by Camden Park. I spend a lot of time down at Camden Park. So I actually have two camps down here on different characters. And then I have a camp up here by the fairgrounds. So that allows me to get all over the map very quickly, and they are strategically placed for that reason. Not necessarily because I like the area, I just choose a location in that area. So just going up here, I'm going to show you the actual camp itself. Another funny thing that happens is I get super mutants that spawn and then they run backwards and they fall down the mountain and kill themselves. So it's pretty hilarious actually, right? So as you can see, I have some taters here using the fire camp glitch to place them. You can no longer do that, unfortunately. It's too bad that they actually take away the fun kind of glitches versus the ones that are more harmful, right? So I have, in this case, I have a little porch area, and I have all my craft stations on the outside. In this case, one in each corner and along the sides there. And then up here, I actually have a little sitting area. I have a couple of water purifiers, as you can see, sitting on fire camps. Again, you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. And I have my Santitron up here. Before I come down and show you the inside of the camp, it'll show you kind of the vast look of the farm. A lot of nutrifruits, a lot of razor grain, tons of razor grain. And so, like I said, I built this for the booth stuff. I could easily get a lot of razor grain alcohol and stuff in this camp alone, which is kind of useful. Okay, then going inside, just a couple of display cases, a little kitchen area, a little sun area, some more sort of corner on top for fireplaces, and then heading upstairs, a little bedroom area. So all three of these camps that I've shown you so far have a very different look. The first one was a bunker, the second one was in Watoga, and this one is in the David Savage Mire and a farm. So I'm going to head over, before I switch characters again, I'm going to head over to my other camp down here, Camden Park. And I'm going to show you two different styles of camps that I built here. I like them both for different reasons, much more than before. Okay, as you can see, it's I don't like building on roads. It annoys me when people build over the road or in the road and block the way for other characters. Or I know it's not a big deal, you can just run around. It's just kind of stupid. So I try not to, if I'm going to build close to the road, I try not to block it. I try and keep the road open so people running along the road can get by. Or at the very least, if you're going to build on the road, build like a archway or build over the road, if you will. And so that just doesn't stop people from getting through. Anyway, so very nice camp in terms of at nighttime it lights up. Very pretty with the trees and things over here. I think this is a natural tree, or it does look like one of those trees I would have planted. So I have a little farm area. At the top here I have a farm area. I've got a lot of razor grain over here. Some corn there, a little sitting area, or sort of the death claw, some corn. There's again a lot of resources here. That house has some resources, and of course Camden Park is full of resources. So great spot to build. Also very popular. So I do have a tough time placing my camp here. A lot of people like to build around this area, along this thing, and if there's one camp just even a bit further down out of your zone, it still doesn't allow you to place a camp for some reason, which is kind of annoying, especially if it's not that close by. So quite a popular area. A lot of camps are along this riverbank because of the water. So let's head on in the camp. So a bunch of water purifiers over here. And I never log my water purifiers. I let them be so people can help themselves. Way too much water, more than I need. So this is kind of like a thin building, kind of like a 1 or 2 by 2, I guess. Yeah, not my camp, so I can't fix that. Anyway, heading inside, just kind of a 1 floor. Crafting stations, kitchen area. So a little bit more compact design. This is one of my camps I had evicted by the game. I moved my camp unit around and then I couldn't place my camp. So this one isn't quite as nice as my original build, but I try to duplicate it. An outside deck here. I then have an upstairs area, which is a bedroom area. The second bedroom area. So vaulted ceiling. So again, different design than my other camps that I typically build. Nice view of the water. You got a view of Camden Park over there. And just kind of a tranquil type view. So nice area. I spend a lot of time down here just because of Camden Park and the resources and leveling up. This is a great spot to level up your low-level characters, especially if you have a lot of them like I do. Alright, so moving on to actually the last, I actually have two more builds on this one, another bunker. I won't do that. If I have some time, I can show you if you're interested to see that second bunker. It's very similar to the other one. It's by the top of the world, but I probably won't show you today. There's going to be just too many camps to get through. But yeah, I have it right over here. It's on a concrete, deposit. So the next camp I'm going to show you is one that's actually just above Huntersville. This is actually my original camp that I built here. I love the spot. There's a lead deposit there. It's right here by Huntersville, or Huntersville rather. A lot of super mutant, a lot of resources, and again, yeah. So this is, like I said, was one of my original spots that I built in. I still like the area for a number of reasons. It's got the lead deposit right here. It also has a gorgeous view at the front. We'll get into that in a second. It's close to West Tech. Close to West Tech over here. There's actually a spawn. It's got isolated cabin where we'll spawn. It's got a behemoth. From over here, so let's head on to it. So like I said, the original build was a little nicer. Again, I had to rebuild here on a different character because I kind of liked the area over here, right? But anyway, I built it pretty close to my original, a little bit different. So one of the things is I love the view from here. It's got a sort of view of Watoga in the distance. I see a lot of people building here for the lead deposit, but they never. I haven't really seen anyone take advantage of these rocks. I love using these rocks to put a sitting area, taking advantage. You'll see in my other camp, you've got these beautiful outcrops and rocks, and you can make a really nice outdoor area, a view of the road. I used to see a lot of players running down the wrong road, and they couldn't see me because the camp doesn't actually spawn in until they get closer. So it's kind of funny watching them run to West Tech and things like that. And of course there is a spawn area, so you can actually see various things spawn in. I don't think I have a sniper rifle on this character, but let me take a quick look. There we go. We actually do. Actually, let me fix that quick, and I'll show you. You can actually see what sort of spawns in the area. So right over in this location you get all sorts of super mutants, behemoth, probably sheep squatch. I don't know what the latest spawn changes are. I haven't been here for a while, but all sorts of different sloth. And you could actually, if you've got a decent sniper rifle, you could actually hit them. Or if you've got the black powder rifle, you can actually take a pot shot all the way from this distance and actually shoot them all the way from the start, which is kind of cool, right? In a way, right? Like I say, you sort of got West Tech and Watoga kind of in the far distance there. You've got Huntersville, which is full of super mutants and loot. You right here by the freak show, and there's actually that's an interesting spawn. It's actually an area that I actually wanted to build a camp because it was right here by the freak show, and there's a crater with all sorts of spawn areas. So I bet you whoever built there is doing it for that exact reason, so he could be right there by that spawn area. Let me just show you what else. So I've got the little, again, kitchen area, sitting area, all my crafting stations, and upstairs. And as you can see, this is an older camp here. I haven't updated the walls with any wallpaper. So not a camp that I use too often. So kind of like just an area. Oh yeah, I was thinking of a bathroom area there. Nice view. You've got lead there, so you guys that need a lot of lead, this is actually a great spot to actually build. Little outdoor sitting area. So every now and then I'd come and I'd update the camp, I'd update the walls, kind of mess around with the different characters and stuff, right? I'm actually curious about the camp over here, so let's go take a quick look at this camp. I'm curious to where he's actually built it. It's very close to the crater, which I've made many videos on, so I'm super curious where he's actually built it. I have looked in that area and I was going to build on the side of a mountain, and I decided not to. But let's see if this guy actually did that. So yeah, he's kind of built to the side of the mountain. I was going to build further down. As you can see, there's the crater down there, and all sorts of things spawn down in that crater, from sheep squatch to frog crawlers, which kind of thing. Plus you got a beautiful view of Watoga. I mean, look at this view. Got an amazing view from the top here, pretty much of all of Watoga. You got West Tech over there. Of course, the craters, and sometimes if you get a little bit lower down, you can actually see some. I was going to actually build halfway down the mountain, just because I couldn't actually see all the animals from the top here. But this guy actually, you know, he's obviously chosen the view over everything else, which is kind of cool. He's got a chair right at the corner. I'd say a little risky sitting on that chair, but. I got attacked by a death claw there by the looks of it.
For all the change in the world, people still basically the same.
So a little porch here. So yeah, he must have a pretty amazing view on a sunny day. Pretty awesome spot. Okay, so let's head to one of my other primary character accounts, which is right here at Morgantown. It's also another one of my favorite camps for the location. It has some rocks there that I built a nice little patio area on. Again, I see a lot of people building in the spot, and I haven't actually seen a nice a reasonably decent camp here. I see people building on the road and over the top of the rocks, and it just, to me, seems a waste. I'm a little biased as I'm a little attached to this area, but as you can see, it's got these rock outcrops that people just ignore, but you can build this beautiful sitting area. It's pretty cool. Let me actually go to the front of the camp. You'll be able to see it better what I mean. So you got this little area at the top there, and my campsite comes in there, and it's beautiful. It's got these trees that light up at night. It's actually very pretty at night with these trees, and if you light them up, it looks absolutely gorgeous with the build at night. And of course, there's a junk deposit here. Again, I'll leave this unlocked for people. I rarely use this character, so it's almost never anything here. But recently updated the mosaic tiles in the front here, which may look a little bit nicer. Got my brewing stations outside. So it was quite a bit tricky, as you can see, you know, getting these floors in to kind of match. It was a bit of a pain. And as you can see, it picked up some dirt underneath. And then I think some of these floors aren't actually connected. So these two here aren't actually connected to the main set. You can see they're a little bit lower. But overall, it turned out really nicely. I really liked the build. One of my first camps, and I've just kept it. You know, again, being close to Morgantown, to the airport, very centrally located. I love this area. Okay, simple camp inside. But I did recently do a little bit of updates to it. As you can see, it's got the Anuka Shine wallpaper there. Little bedroom area. It's a relatively small camp, only 2 smalls in terms of square footage. The primary reason was the junk. The reason I chose this location, obviously being central, and of course it had a junk deposit there. You got this beautiful, like I said, I got this little sitting area which I don't see many people taking advantage of, which is a shame. Of course, at the back here I have a bunch of crops. You got wood here. There's a copper vein close by. Razor grain. I have a bunch of water purifiers over here. A vent drain station, which I don't think I've ever connected on this character. Anyway, there you go. Beautiful, nice location, nice spot. I'll actually show you what it looks like from the top. And like I said, at night time it actually looks really lit up and quite pretty. There you go. Okay, I'll show you one more. I think I'm actually done with this account. That would be my last character. So let me show you another one on my other one. But it actually turned out to be a awesome camp once I had it built, and I really actually like this camp, and I do actually spend a lot of time here now. But when I originally built here, I was very unsure about it. I wanted to be closer to the to the actual fairground and have a nicer view. But this view is actually turned out to be really kind of neat. And this was a very different build again than the rest of my builds. But again, I have this sort of porch area surrounded by the atomic sharp white fences, which really make it kind of stand out at a distance. A little crop area on the side here, and I'll go downstairs. But the house is kind of probably the nicest feature here. I've got this view, got the crafting stations outside again. If we head inside, I actually have the iron deposit embedded in the floor, so you can't even actually, if you're not actually, well, so you don't really even notice it's there, but you really do. But you know, it's kind of just more of a feature than actually not. A little bedroom area. It's only a 1-floor house. This one, a lot of the budget was taken up by the amount of concrete foundations I used, and I'll show you why in a sec. But yeah, you've got a bedroom area, yeah, a kitchen area, which are the two main points there. My crafting area. If I head downstairs, as you can see, a lot of concrete. So as you can see, this household settled camp was built on a sloped area. So I needed to use a lot of concrete for what I wanted to build. So let's head down to the bottom here. There's like a little picnic area with you get some booze and stuff like that. You can find some Nuka-Cola, Nuka Cherry, or wine and stuff, which is kind of cool. There's some containers. So again, a few resources, not many, but of course the main resource is actually down there by the fairgrounds, right? Okay, so heading back here, you'll see very concrete looking. I don't really like the look when looking up at the camp, but down here I've got a bunch of crops. I wanted to build onto the road and have access to the road from the top. As you can see, it's pretty high up, this camp, in terms of where the deposit is. So it's fairly way back there, but I wanted to have access to the road and be able to climb up and stuff. So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of crops down here, which I kind of like. Heading up the stairs here, I have a first layer here. So again, a little bit different than my others, what I typically do. In this case, I've actually, because I had all this extra room underneath the camp in terms of the floors at the top, I wanted to take advantage of this empty space. So I thought I was kind of mess around, and I built a power door here. So you can't actually access my water purifiers too easily, right? And I wanted to be able to, sometimes you actually spawn in my camp, you actually spawn in this room, so anyone who's lucky enough can actually take all the water. Otherwise you wouldn't actually, in this case, be able to get access to the water. And then I was experimenting with the sort of doors, so you can actually get out. You just walk on there and it'll open the door going and out, and that way you're not actually locked in or trapped in the room. So I've got two accesses here, one on that side. Then we came down. As you can see, the stairway doesn't exactly hit the ground, and I couldn't put another one, so I just put some table and some stash boxes, so you can head up there without any jumping up and stuff. And then I have stairways. So I really like the look and feel of, you know, having two stairways on either side of the camp going up, and then you're at the main sort of house area, which is kind of cool. So love this location, love the camp. Really turned out to be better than I expected. Of course, you know, I use this area all the time because leader of the pack spawns here. So when we do the challenges for legendary items, it's there. And of course we have Aaron Homestead, which leader of the pack ends up most of the time. And of course you have screws up there, so we're doing the screws challenge. And if you need to get into Toxic Valley, Grafton area, it's pretty close. Again, strategic place for spawning. And of course I could spawn down there when my other camps are down there, type of thing, right? So I do like this location. One of my favorite spots recently. It's and I spent a lot of time here on one of my primary characters. Okay, heading to another location again, strategically placed by Pricketts Fort. Lots of wood here. When we have to kill red roaches in Toxic Valley, and of course a spawn point across the map, and actually a very pretty area. I remember when I was first playing the game, I was kind of around this area, and I kind of was walking around, and I found some mountains, and I walked up these mountains. I guess I walked this way, I guess, or maybe I came around that way and I walked back down, and I found this beautiful spot up here, and I'm going to show you why I like it so much. Okay, so this is built on a cliff area. Actually, I have stairs all the way down. You can actually, it doesn't quite get to the ground because we built pretty high up, but you can actually come up there even if you didn't have marsupial or a jetpack. You can actually jump up on the rocks and get up, and I'll show you that in a second what I've done there. But kind of a neat camp area as well. It has a pond up here, so a water source. It actually has this freaking water purifier which doesn't generate any water. I just don't get why they have a static water purifier that doesn't actually work. You can power it up, but it doesn't actually generate any water. So you've got this beautiful pond. There's actually a aluminum vein on that side, and there's actually a lead vein on this side. So for you guys that like to need lead, you can actually come here, and there's actually 3 or 4 spots that you can actually grab some lead there. So not too bad if you know this is your main camp area. So yeah, I mean I've got 16 just from that vein alone. I just got 16. If you were in the excavator power armor, you can get 16 or 12 lead there, right? Which is kind of cool. And like I said, there's actually another vein just over here, somewhere over here. I'll try and find it if I can't, but you just take my word for it. Anyway, it's somewhere over here where there's an aluminum vein as well. And of course there's other resources. There's some other resources. You've got some dead bodies, some fire axe, some shotgun shells, some wood. Over here, animals do spawn. There's even a couple of truck containers just back here in the woods that spawn some power armor, which means there's a fusion core there sometimes. And some raider power armor that you can sell as well. So a little crop area I've got here. I'll show you the stairs, which is probably the most attractive feature in my opinion for this area. Just kind of a neat feature because it's different. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so let's just get into the actual so upstairs I have a little kitchen area, little lounge area, and then I have an upstairs floor. I like building these open wall type areas. You'll notice that, and in the next one I have the same thing. And then you have this beautiful view of Pricketts Fort, which has a lot of resources, and in the distance there you can't really see it, or you can kind of see it. Let me see if I've got a hunting rifle. I don't have a sniper rifle. Let me see if this one will do it. Oh, there you go. Just over there is the space station and the latest raider camp. So good location, close by. There's also another, I haven't actually unlocked it, but there's another little area, yeah, I forget what it's called, but additional resources, tinker workbench, and some weapons and stuff, right? Little sitting area. And then, like I said, one of my favorite features about this camp is it has stairways, which I built all the way down. I had to put some carpets and stuff down here. Floors didn't quite fit as nicely as I wanted, but it actually turned out to be good enough. And then I have this stepway that I climb down. Little sitting area, a little fireplace area, and I could go down. And then I have, this is the lowest I could actually build to it. So yeah, you can actually come up there from Pricketts Fort, and if you have marsupial or a jetpack, you can just jump up there and you can come up directly. So that was one of the things that I wanted to have work, so I had to move my camp many times to get up there. And even if you don't have marsupial, you can actually just jump up here. Like this character doesn't have that. You can actually jump up on the ledge walk along the ledge, and voila, you are on there. So you actually don't even need that to get up there. So if you had some low-level characters or friends, they could still make use of that. It did take me a long time. I probably wouldn't be able to do it again. But again, if you wanted to do something similar and wanted some more details on exactly placement of certain things, I could certainly try and accommodate you. So you got water here, you can grow crops, and you got a gorgeous view, lead vein, aluminum vein, and close to various areas. Okay, I'll probably show you a couple more camps, and then we'll call it for a video. Really want to rough it type thing, right? Anyway, I'll show you what I've done. One of the things that I wanted to do in this location, and I've seen people build, I haven't really seen an impressive camp yet, to be honest. A lot of people just build up into the radio tower because there are a lot of high level, I bet you this guy had his camp here, high level enemies that spawn here. So I haven't actually seen too many decent camps. I've seen some okay ones. But one of the things I wanted to build, if I was going to build is I wanted it surrounded with either walls or steps. So when these heavy level enemies show up, like super mutants, that they will just shoot at the foundation. So I think I've achieved that. Again, I used a lot of the budget. The foundations used a lot of the budgets. But I think I got what I wanted, and enough that I'm just not tempted to move the camp just yet. Got a house there, and I'll show you. So the rail carts, so you probably don't even recognize this area if you are familiar with it, because the rail carts are completely covered, and I haven't seen anyone do this just yet. So you don't even know it's there unless you're familiar with the area, but you can actually go down here. And in here, you have, like I said, you've got a cap stash. So one of the reasons I don't like this area is enemies actually spawn right in the middle of your camp, which is very super annoying, especially if this character is low level. So things like this, this Mire King would be super annoying unless you have a high level character, which I don't quite at the moment. Well, maybe you can keep him as a pet, I suppose. Let's see if we can sneak in the back there. Yeah, I think he already knows I'm back in here. So let's start with showing you upstairs here. I've got this kitchen area. I built some kind of like a viewing deck up here. I do have some ramen. Little sun area, some crops. I don't know where he's at. Kind of a little lounge area, crafting stations. Some water purifiers at the back here. So if I was going to stay here, I would probably just rebuild this area. Maybe make it slightly different looking, I don't know. But I'm not going to make it. Let's see if I can get underneath and show you these containers, these rail carts, if he doesn't kill me again. Like I said, there's a stash box down there, and you even have water, resources, a safe, a little bed there. So you could actually just have this whole area without building anything. Some wood stack. You pretty much have everything you need. You got wood. You even got running water. There's actually a kitchen. A bunch of resources, typewriters, and clocks and stuff down here. A kitchen, a little sitting area. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to take this guy out. Yeah. That's the problem in this case. I can't even get rid of this enemy. Although I could respawn in, I guess, and let him loose. Right now as a pet, I have a little farm area at the back here. So another Mire crab there. So again, this is kind of the reason that Mire crab, I think, can't actually get in, which is kind of neat. And I've had super mutants just shooting at the walls, which is kind of exactly what I wanted. Frogs would attack and stuff like that. But anyway, there you go. That's one area. The other one I wanted to show you is the one I have at Whitespring. So again, a strategic fast spawn point right by Whitespring if I need to get to Whitespring. One of my original camps used to be in the middle of Whitespring, but because it got nuked so often, got tired of that. And so I built up on the mountains, and I got evicted at the spot that I wanted, or originally built at. And so I settled for this second spot, and it actually turned out to be even a much nicer looking camp than my original one in this case. Okay, I got two more camps to show you, this one and another one. So again, this one is right here by Solomon's Pond. You right access to Whitespring Resorts and the mine, the Blackwater mine, and all that good stuff. So let's head on in. So my whole sort of crafting area is right over here. And then I have this beautiful deck. Again, I love these camp settlements with rocks. You can kind of make it and take advantage. Okay, welcome back. Okay, we're gonna heading back down to Camden Park. And it's actually nighttime, which is good because it's one of my favorite looks of this camp is at nighttime. Okay, this will be our last camp. So again, as you saw, I think I started off with one of a camp at the same spot or similar spot. This one's been. I get a lot of enemies that spawn here now, so let me just actually try and fix these. It's kind of. Okay, I'll see if I can come back. Actually, let me. That's okay. So again, it's got these rocks here, outcrops, sitting area. You can actually jump down. Yeah, this is one of my favorite features. Is got this little outdoor area. I got these rocks. Got a little armor bench out there. Little patio in the front with a bunch of mutual trees. We'll let them grow a little bit. I'll see if I can fix them before I leave. But yeah, once you can actually come down the road, it actually gives you that very nice sort of feel and look. Sort of like reminds me a lot of a Fallout 4 camp would actually look. Okay, so kitchen area, little sleeping area over here, and then like my other one was near the water. I have this sort of open sort of area, if you will, some more crafting stations down here, very open plan, and some water purifiers in the water here, vending station, little crop area with an access door at the bottom here, some corn. Where my cow is. Okay, I should be able to fix 2 of these. I'll fix this one, yeah. Oh, it'd actually allow me to fix that one. Oh, and that one. Alright, so just like I wanted to give you a better view of it, as you can see if you're looking at it from this direction, all those beech trees are lit up. It gives you that really nice lit up feel and cozy home, like with the community in front, which I kind of really like, with the white picket fences, which is kind of cool. Little sitting area, as I said, so we've got a kitchen area on the first floor, crafting an armor workbench. On the top floor, little sleeping area there, and then if we head down, I even have some corn in this little area at the bottom. I was able to put some concrete against these actually foundations, which kind of give it kind of a completed feel and look. And then some steps that go up. So again, very different type of look and feel. And just one other thing, which again, just by pure luck, I had the stepway go directly down onto a rock. So I can actually get water without actually stepping in the water, which is kind of cool. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the view of my many camps. I do have a few others. I have a couple down in Flatwoods. I had a beautiful camp in Flatwoods right next to the church. But I got evicted, and I haven't actually had a nice camp there since. So I've actually got a couple camps just outside the agriculture center. So when we're doing all the freaking events, I kind of go there and hang out. Nothing too impressive at all, but there's a spot there that I kind of have 2 camps over there. I also have a camp at a red truck in that Savage Divide. I think it's over here somewhere, I guess. Again, nothing that I've really built up or too impressive that's worth showing. So just to summarize, I've got a camp up here at above the fairgrounds. I've got a camp at Pricketts Fort over there. I have a camp in the mountains by the Savage Divide. I have a camp over at that spot where it's at right now. I have a camp, a bunker over at this spot over here. I have a camp here. As you can see, someone else is right over there. Because of that lead deposit that he likes. I have two camps in Watoga, one just kind of north of Watoga, one south of Watoga. A lot of people like to build down here. I have a friend that a lot of people like the lakes down here. I've never really cared for the area myself, but if you like lakes, it's very pretty down there. And I've never actually built a camp in Savage Divide, in the Ash Heap myself, although I've been tempted, but never really liked the whole grey, dark area. The closest is these two camps in that area there. So anyway, feel free to comment and tell me which is your favorite camp. If you have built any of those spots, and if you'd like to see a specific camp in more detail or discussion around that camp, by all means, I could do that. I did quickly breeze through most of the camps, but hopefully you get some ideas, and you can either like the camp spots or some ideas to build and how to build. And the design, feel free to use them for your own. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. It does help me out a lot. Thanks a lot.